eye tracking, orienting response, uses IR infrared to monitor where participants look. New face, strong gaze fixation, novelty. Old habituated face, reduced fixation duration because of habituation. Graph fixation time sharply drops across repeated trials due to habituation. Eye tracking is a non-invasive measure of attention and recognition memory, demonstrates habituation as a visual attention level, not just reflexive behavior. In EDA, we have we can see that. Core takeaway across all methods: EMT idling, what it measures and relevance to memory; reflex amplitude and timing, procedural or implicit learning; startle reflex, response to acoustic stimulus, arousal, habituation speed; eye tracking, visual attention fixation, attention and recognition memory; EDA-SCL, autonomic arousal, emotional memory, and resilience. So these paradigms show how learning occurs without conscious awareness, hallmark of non-associative learning like habituation. Habituation is memory for repetition, brain encodes stimulus familiarity and reduces processing load, links to STM and LTM and Sobolov's model from the side. Now, factors influencing habituation: startle potential of the stimulus, salience or intensity; definition, how noticeable or arousing the stimulus is; effect, less arousing stimuli give faster habituation; highly salient stimuli resist habituation because they demand attention, adaptive survival behavior; relation to memory, less arousing stimuli don't require constant monitoring, freeing cognitive resources. So, less arousing stimuli, basically based on arousal level, we have classified habituation. So, how noticeable or arousing stimulus is: when it is less arousing, we have faster habituation, while for highly salient stimulus like loud bangs, bright flashes, they resist habituation because they demand attentional resources, adaptive survival behavior. Now, larger response determines after early exposures, meaning the largest drop in behavioral response happens in the first few exposures, like most learning curves. The nervous system quickly decides something if it's safe and stops reacting strongly. In the stimulus interval, mass versus space. Mass interval basically is short intervals between exposures, causes faster habituation, while space gives longer intervals, so slower but more enduring habituation. Learning insight: temporal spacing affects memory consolidation. Mass exposure helps quick memory updating, while space exposure builds long-lasting traces. More factors: spontaneous recovery, definition, return of the habituated response after a rest period without stimulation. Suggests habituation is not due to fatigue, it's memory-based. The system forgets the stimulus was safe if not expected for a while. So it's memory-based. Space versus mass exposure again. Space, slower habituation but longer attention and greater resistance to spontaneous recovery, aligns with latent learning. Space trials may promote better long-term behavioral changes. Stimulus specificity: habituation is tied to specific features of the stimulus. Change the sound, tone, appearance slightly, and the organism might react again, causing habituation. Later at a later time. So this shows perceptual systems form fine-grained memory representations. Stimulus generalization: a new stimulus similar to the habituated one still produces reduced response. So the brain doesn't store every stimulus separately; it generalizes across similar inputs, reflecting pattern-based memory. Now, dishabituation definition is that reappearance of a response to a previously habituated stimulus when a novel stimulus is introduced. For example, you stop noticing your ceiling fan sound, but if a phone buzzes, you become aware of the fan again. Memory implication: the nervous system can unlock suppressed responses when detecting change in the environment. Key to attention, novelty detection, and memory reactivation. So now some important concepts. Habituation reflects non-associative learning, forming short-term and long-term representations. Spontaneous recovery indicates decay or suppression of stored memory over time. Stimulus specificity reflects fine coding of stimulus, features in perceptual memory. And generalization reflects pattern matching and categorization abilities of memory systems. Dishabituation shows dynamic access to stored information and importance of novelty.